Hey everyone, I hope you are well. Today I'm going to go over perspective part 2, which is basically basic perspective part 2. So this video or tutorial is for my drawing students. This week we are starting perspective, woohoo. So in this tutorial I am going to go over pretty much how to draw a 2-point house. Very simple house. Anybody can do this. In 2-point perspective, that will help you with your homework assignment, as well as I'm going to draw a 1-point room, which is fairly simple once you see it, and that will also help you with your homework assignment. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I don't want to spend too much time on talking because I definitely just want you guys to see this process. So what I am going to do, number one, I need to make sure I don't go outside of my frame. So I need to make notes for myself right now. There we go. And there we go. This should keep me within my frame. Alright, guys, so we gotta get our horizon line in. So I am using a regular pencil. I'm also using my gridded ruler. So I'm gonna draw in my horizon line. I want to make sure it's fairly straight. So now that we got that, we're thinking about 2-point perspective. So I'm going to try and make sure that my vanishing points are in the frame. So we need 2 vanishing points. So I have horizon line here, vanishing point right, and vanishing point left. You get it. Alright guys, so now that I have that in 2-point perspective, remember this box is cocked into space. Yes. So this is what we're kind of looking at and thinking about. So if I have a box here, this is 1-point perspective because guess what? This is parallel to our picture plane. What we're doing, we're dealing with a box that's in 2-point perspective, meaning that you see not only one plane, but you see 2. So this is what we're dealing with our house. So thank you for that, Mr. Box. All right, so now that we have that here, let's get started. So I want to think about my corner, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to bring this box down just a little bit lower. It's either that or I need to make I'm gonna make it just a little lower. So I'm gonna come in with my corner for my home. That's here. And there we go. I want to stay within my frame, so I'm just going to move this up just a bit, and then I erased out my lines. So this side of the corner of our plane is going to go to this vanishing point here. And then I'm going to erase this out so there's no confusion. And then I want this to go here. So we have the top of our corner is going to our left vanishing point, that's here. Then I need the bottom of this corner to go to the right vanishing point, that's here. You want to make sure you're making your points. You're not doing what I'm doing. Alright. That's here. And then we want the top of this corner to go to our right vanishing point as well. Alright, so now I want to decide how big or wide do I want this house. So normally we would have a gridded ground plane. That way we can count into space how big in depth or how wide or how tall we want this house to be. But I'm keeping this very basic and simple. So I'm just going to make a cute little house. I don't want it to be too distorted because we're already kind of running into some distortions. But I'm okay with that. All of the ideas are the same. So I'm going to bring the house out just a little bit. I'm going to say this is the size of my house I want it to be. This is the size of the front of my house that I want it to be. That's here. Alright, so this is my front. This is my side. That's here. I really want to erase this out because it's leaving much of a ghost. And I think it's very hard. It's grinded in there, but it's fine. I'm over it. So now that I have my front plane, or you could say side plane, but front side of the house, now I want to get in my top plane. So this corner is going to go to our left vanishing point. This corner is going to go to our right. Then we're going to get our bottom plane in. And so this corner is going to go to our right vanishing point. And then this corner is going to go to our left vanishing point. Then we're going to connect our top plane and our bottom plane together. Get those connections in. Alright, so now we have the back. We also have the side. We have the bottom plane, another side plane, a top plane. So now I want to come in and I'm saying, okay, this is the base. For my little itty bitty house here, you might as well call it a dog house because that's the only little thing that could live in it. Alright, so I want to get a pointy roof for my house. So when you think of a pointy roof, you're basically just thinking of the idea of a triangle. That's our pointy roof. So what I want to do is I want to get the center of the front of my house in. So the great way to get the center is to draw X within your box. Draw X. So I also want to draw another X for this back plane that's here. And another X, another diagonal line. Get it together, Jerry. Alright, so now I have my X in the front plane, X in my back plane. Now I want, because I have my center, I want to get a line, my center line in for this box. I'm just going to draw this line up for right now. Now I have that. Same thing here. Draw this line up because I want to get the point for this house in. And draw that line up. So once we have our centers, we have our center line for our little box, our little itty bitty house. That's what it is. Now I want to get the angle for my house. So this point and this point is going to connect. And I'm going to draw the line back to the vanishing point. That's there. So now I have the height for my pointy box. Now all I have to do is draw the top of my roof for my home, or the home for a dog. That's really what it is. It is a very small house. You could say it's a garage. Possibly it's a garage. You could fit a little car in there. It's a little itty bitty car. Alright, guys. So we have our home. And I know it's a lot of lines and you're like, well, how is that a home? I'll try and shade it in for you so you can see clearly. So I'm gonna come in with a little bit of shade, nothing dramatic. You guys don't have to do this, I just want you to see it. So this is the side of my roof. That's here. So now we see the side of the roof. This is the side of the house. That's here. And so now we have this side of the roof, this side of the house. We have the front of the house. We also have our pointy roof that is at the top. So this is my 2-point house. So when you decide to do your 2-point exterior space, you want to think about this 2-point house. So let's say you go outside and you want to draw your garage, or you want to draw the corner of your home or the corner of your apartment. This is the idea that you want to use in perspective for that 2-point building that you're going to draw. All right, guys, so I'm going to cut a clip and then we're going to come back with our next project, which is going to be how to draw interior space. Yes. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next clip. All right, guys, so I am back. We are going to do a 1-point interior space. And so once again, this will help you guys draw your 1-point interior room for your homework assignment. So there's 2 different ways that we can do this, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark off my frame so I'm not drawing outside of it. You guys can clearly see what I'm doing. Whoops. And on this side, where are we at? There we go. Bam. Alright, guys, so what you want to do is there's 2 different ways that we can definitely do this. And the one way that we can do it, and I'm gonna try and split this up. I don't know if I can, but I'm gonna try. It's gonna look quite weird, but I'm gonna do my best to split this up. Split it over just a bit if I can within that frame. And nope, I don't have it crooked. Alright, so I'm just gonna split this up. It's probably gonna be uneven, but I'm okay with that. Alright, so on this side, I'm going to talk about one way of how to get a 1-point interior space room, and then the other way of how to get a 1-point interior space room. So the first way that you can definitely do is, once again, could draw X in your square, in your rectangle, to get the center of the actual composition. So let me get this other side in, and also this side in. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw X. I'm connecting these corners together. Connect this corner together. Okay, so once you have that, you can decide how wide or how small or how deep you want this room to be. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to say, okay, this is where my room is. Well, my front wall for my room. They're not okay. All right, get it together. Gonna be a little uneven, but I'm gonna fix it. As I'm going to fix this so I can get an even X in. I am uneven. Alright, so I'll move that up because I did not measure anything. I just said whoop-de-doo. But it's good for you guys to see mistakes. So if you run into them, you know how to fix it. So you want your corners to match because we got to get the center of this doggone thing. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Alright. Use your tools. There we go. Alright. We're getting there, even with my mistakes. Alright, so we have our X that's here, and our picture plane that's here. Then once we have that, we can come in and we can get our center line, because it's already in the center of our format that's here. So we have that. So this is what's happening. We have our space. Let me see if I can come in and get a line down for this. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Trying to get a line down. And that's that. Alright, so we're almost there. In here. So if you look at this, we're saying this back here, and I'm going to shade it in so you can see it. If I erase this out for right now, I'm still going to need it when you guys are building inside there. So now we have our front wall that we're looking at. I'm just going to shade it in so you guys can see it. That's here. Alright, so we have our front wall that's here. So that means this is our roof. This is the side of our room, the other side of our room, and also the floor of our room. So once you have that space that's there, now all you have to do, let's say we wanted to make a box within this box. So you want to think about that center line that was there, and let's get a 1 point box in. So I'm going to come in, make sure my ruler is straight, and bring in my 1 point box. That's here. So remember, our box front plane that's here is parallel to our picture plane. So these corners are going to converge to your vanishing point and your vanishing point, that vanishing point in the center, another that's here. Once you have that, then you can say, oh, how wide do I want this box in this space? I'm going to say it's this wide. Make sure this line is lining up, because I am crooked. There we go. There we go. So we are saying this is the top of our box that's here, or side of our box that's here. This is the side. This is the top. That's here. This is the front that's here. So we have our box within our room that's here. So think about it. This could be a table. You can break this down into a table. It could be a chair. It could be a bed. However you want to compose it, it could definitely be that for you. So this is how we can make a interior room, as well as I just put a box in my interior room. So that gives you an idea for that. So another way to make your interior room, so what you definitely can do is, remember I started with getting an X in, make sure the box is an actual box, or you're going to have trouble like me. Get your box in, or whatever your picture frame is. You draw your X, that gives you your center for your horizon line, also your center vanishing point. What you also can do, you could come in and you can establish your center line first. So I'm going to say this is where my center line is. Then you can measure where you want that center vanishing point to be. So you're saying that's my center vanishing point. So what you could do is connect your bottom plane. Another one that's here. Another one up here. Just do it this way so it'll all balance out. So now if you look at it, if we look at this little triangle here, it's almost we're going into space. And if you look at this little triangle here, it's almost like a roof going into space. So once we have that established, we can say, okay, I want my wall that I'm facing to be deep in space. So now we have a wall that is deep in space. You don't have to shade, I'm just shading so you guys can see it. Once you have a bunch of lines, it's hard for your brain to figure it out. Alright, so as you can see over here, we have a wall that is closer to us. over here we have a wall that's deeper into space. So this is our roof that's here. This is the side of the wall of the room. This is the other side wall for the room, and this is our floor plane for the room. I can do the same thing over here if I wanted to. I could have made my my box bigger, which would have pushed that wall that I'm looking at forward if I'd have made it bigger. But I wanted to have deep space, so I had to make that wall a lot smaller. Same thing you could definitely do if you want to bring in, let's say I want a box, and I'm going to put it over here somewhere. Let me make sure I'm not, you know, make sure I'm where I need to be. Let me say, I want my box to be there. So this is 1 point perspective. All these corners are going to converge, 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 and converge. This corner is very close to what we're seeing. And I can say, okay, this is how much in space this is going to go for me. There we go. There's a little sliver of the side that we're seeing because of where it is in our perspective. So I'm gonna shade this in for you guys so you can see it. And I'm also gonna come in and lightly shade this in so you can see it. Alright, you guys, so as you can see, and I'm gonna come in and just make this more of a room. Alright, you guys, so I have my 1 point interior room. I also have a box in my 1 point interior room that's going to that 1 point vanishing point. Then I also over here, I have a 1 point interior room. I have my box that is going to that 1 point vanishing point as well. So when you're thinking about or doing your interior space, or if you're drawing, let's say your room, you know, sit dead in front of a wall and draw everything within that space, that would be 1 point perspective. So remember, this is 1 point perspective. This is 2 point perspective. And if we were looking at it from the top, you see it here. But that's what you're looking at. Alright. Oh, I got a bunch of smears and things that's here, and I'm okay with it. I just want to erase it out. Alright, guys, so this is how you draw an interior space, and the clip before is basically how you draw a house in 2 point perspective. So enjoy your homework. I would definitely see you guys in the next video or the next clip. Bye, guys.